Enlarge that and go ahead and start this, and we're good to go. Hi, everyone. It's Saturday night, the 15th of August, and day 228 of my journey to business alignment and living the dream. My power statement that I wrote out last night for this morning said, I'll send Fahad the podcast page that I finished designing in the publisher file, and I'll do a short video explaining the different things that I want him to do with it. Well, in addition to that task, here's what I had on my to-do list for today. Really short, 3 highlighted ones, the most important things, my accounts, and check my emails. I got all that done, which I'll go over to right now. My number one most important task for today was to not only send the podcast page in the publisher file to Fahad and do a short video explaining it, but my fun task today was to make the changes to my Google Drive files and send Kathleen and my son Tanner a new link to see if it's working right. And my exciting task for today was to get started on typing out some of the video scripts for the videos I want to record, tied to the links that have videos on the home page, on the About page, and on my all the pages are going to have some videos. So that's so exciting. And so let me show you something. I'm going to go ahead and share this real quick. Share screen. I'm going to first do this one right here. Okay, as we know, this is the main website page, and we saw all this stuff all done. And so I'm going to go ahead and hit stop share on that. I'm going to go back down here and share again, and I'm going to share this one here. This, as you can see, is a new page. It's highlighted here. It's the podcast page. Has some fun pictures on that. I'm going to scroll down. Has 2 of the podcasts. The first step to success is to get honest with yourself, and the second one is starting is half done. And then it's got all those regular ones, things done. And so I'm going to stop sharing that, and I'm going to come back here and hit share screen again. And I'm going to go and let's see if I show that. Oh, here's the new one. Yeah, I'm going to share that one. Isn't that beautiful? That's so fun. I noticed on the video last night, I was talking, you didn't get to see this one. Here, it's, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Coach B. It's going to be a video right there. And here's the start of the script, read more. And then everything else is pretty much the same thing going forward. And so that is the fun one. This is the About page. I think it's got it shadowed. Yeah, see, that's a little darker and this is white. So I'm going to come back here and I'm going to go back to that, and I'm going to stop sharing that. And there's one other thing I want to share to show you what I'm talking about here. When I get to that, I'm going to make sure I have that ready to go. Let's see, what page is that going to be on? It's going to be on this one right here. So I'm going to share that. Anyhow, that's so exciting. When I come to that, I'll show you. Okay, as you can see, I have the podcast page all designed out, and so I sent that to Fahad. I also worked on the About page and the script for my About Me videos, which I'll show you in a second. So things are moving forward just great. Anyway, let me go through my normal end of the day success routine questions. And that is, get honest with yourself, Marty. What didn't go well today? Or what could you have done better today? First one is, what can I do better? Did you wake up early and start strong? Check. Did you start your morning with power? Win the morning, win the day? Check. Were you productive throughout your day? Pieces into the portal of my mind, through that and into the world of the physical. Piece after piece after piece. Today was great. Did you get the most important things done? I got my most important task done, my fun task, my exciting task, and some more tasks. So yes. Did you show up as the person you wanted to? I did. And I had personal time with Kathleen tonight for a Saturday. It was great. She had some fun things to do. She went around and shopped on some garden tomatoes and cucumbers and lots of fun things. She's had some fun things. And then she did a special air dryer type oven that she bought, and she's laid out, sliced some thin potatoes, made some little French fries that way, and she's done many, many things with that. So she had a busy day today, and we were both present for each other, so it was great. In summary of these get honest with yourself questions, were you honest with yourself about today's task, Marty? In others, did you keep your commitments that you promised that you'd make and get done today? Well, this morning I promised myself that I would send Fahad the publisher file for the completed podcast page. And when I got that done, I would send him the file for the About page as well, as far as I hopefully got it done, which I did. I also have started a couple of scripts for videos that I want to record and get ready for Fahad to link up to the respective video link buttons on the home page, the About page, and the podcast pages. Also, last night I said I would send a link to Kathleen, like I mentioned earlier, and to my son Tanner to look and see if the files are blocked from being downloaded from my Google Docs drive, and I'm waiting to hear back from them. The next question is, what movies did you watch during your mindfulness time today, Marty? Did you make time for them? And were there any new movies or any instant pre-play movies that were called up by the amigos into my mind? And if so, what were they about? Well, you would think that calling up my must-see TV favorite 5 movies for my mindfulness time would, by this point, start to be boring. By now, anyway, but you would be wrong. Those movies and my instant pre-play movie clip about podcasts and about pages and so forth are not boring. In fact, they provide the fuel for my motivation engine. Going to the movies has never been boring to me, nor it will ever be boring. It is my favorite tool of success, going to the movies. My next question I ask myself every night is, what's the one thing that would make all the difference going forward? Another way to say this is, what's the one thing you'd want to get done tomorrow? Even if your day went sideways as you were doing it, you'd still feel like a success and that you've accomplished something really great. What would that one thing be? And once you know what it is, turn it into a power state so you can start your day strong tomorrow. Well, I can't remember when I first set in motion the 3 things that are now habits that I do every single night. Those being to write down my number 1 most important task, my fun task, and my exciting tasks as the 3 most important tasks that I put on my to-do list to get done every day. They add magic to my day. They start and create that enthusiasm and excitement to get up to the office. I have found that doing something fun and exciting every day is powerful. Anyway, my power statement for tomorrow said this: I will focus on sharpening my saw all day so I can be pumped and ready to go to work on Monday. Well, I remember tonight that my Sundays are my day to sharpen my saw. I love my Sundays. And so I have the right power statement going for me for tomorrow. They're so relaxing. My Sundays are renewing, and I love it. Next, I want to answer my question, were there any mistakes or failures that I had or made today that I can turn into a tool of success going forward? Well, even though today was a full and busy day, I was able to push through getting the important tasks done, and I did so without any mistakes. But I just found out that the steps I took to protect my files so people can't download them didn't work for Kathleen. She sat down, we went through it, it didn't work. She could download everyone. She was able to download them right on the spot and show me. And so I thought I still had some more work to do with that test. But when I went back in and clicked on a few more things in my Google Drive settings, and so including the setting button, it opened up where I had the choice to let folks download, copy, and print, or to not let them do that. Let me show you something. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share again. See if I can get to that page. I'm going to share the screen. Let's see if I get to that page here and share. And I go right up to this page here. That's not the right one. There we go. I'm going to go to my Google Docs. Okay. Hopefully you're seeing that. If you don't, we'll know tomorrow night. But anyhow, as you can see, I'm in here, and I'm going to go into this video list right here. What was doing is I saw in that video that I talked to you about last night, take this number 12, right click, there's the share he talking about. Here's the drop down. I forget what he called it, OTC, whatever it is, this little drop down. But you hit share, and what comes up is different than what he showed. And that's because I've got 2 or 3 people here that I've given permission to do things. And as you can see, I got them as viewer, but this is what I sent to Kathleen, and they got the link and they opened up. Well, I went around and kept trying, and I found something so fun. I'm going to click on settings right here. See this share with people settings. Editors, which she's not, can change permission and share. I didn't set Tanner or Kathleen up as an editor, I just as a viewer. And it had a box here, and that was checked. I didn't notice it. Viewers and commenters can see the option to download, print, and copy. I don't want them to see that. So I left it unchecked. And so now it worked. And I'm done. So that's where I found out and how to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and unshare now and continue on. That's so great. So fun. Okay. The next question is, what was your biggest success today, Marty? In other words, what did you do well today? Well, my biggest success today was setting and getting the podcast and my about pages all designed and sent to Fahad, both of those, so he can start working on them. And of course, figuring out how to block that download from my Google Drive files, that was fantastic too. That's a big success too. So bam, Then the next step in my end of the day success routine is to rate my day's effort. And so I gave today another 9. I gave it a 9 because not only because I worked at the speed of 9, but I got everything done that I set out to do today. Bam, done, check, check. Okay, I want to end the day strong. Here's what I'm grateful for today. I'm grateful for the principle embedded in this statement. Now listen, go out there and win one for the Gipper. We've heard all that, haven't we? As most of us know, there's a great story behind this quote. So let me share how this famous statement came about. On one occasion, Knute Rockne was visiting at the hospital bedside of one of the most gifted and brilliant players who ever walked upon the strike field of Notre Dame Stadium. He had all the evidence of a fatal illness happening. His name was George Gibb. He was nicknamed the Gipper. His legend, and he was a legend, is that the Gipper brings inspiration and joy, hope and courage to every player who wears the uniform of Notre Dame. George Gibb is the only man of whom it has been said that he never allowed a pass to be completed by any opponent in his territory. He was a tiger in that area. After a brief talk in which Rockne knelt at his bedside and prayed to Almighty God to give George the courage and the strength to face the greatest event of his life, which was his departure, his passing, George Gibb looked up at him and said, "Rock, it's tough to go now, but someday," he said, "when the going gets tough and the brakes are beating our players, tell them to go in and win one for the Gipper. I don't know where I'll be, but I know this, that I shall know of its occurrence," end quote. About 5 years later, when Notre Dame was playing its favorite adversary back in those days, about 30 years ago, the Army, Knute Rockne had one of the weakest teams that he ever coached at Notre Dame. The score at the end of the first half was 21-7 in favor of Army. When the players trooped off the field into the locker room at the intermission between the halves, Rockne told them the story of the Gipper. "I've never told it to you before," he said, but the time is now here. I know that going has been tough today. Unfortunate breaks have been beating you down. You feel licked, but you must now regain the pride that has forever graced the player that wore the honored colors of Notre Dame, the Gipper. He told the story of George Gibb's last words to him, and then in a commanding voice said, "Let's go out there and win one for the Gipper." The players were emotionalized. They rushed from the locker room. They played as men transformed. They hit, they ran, they passed, they blocked. They transcended their own abilities. Rockne later said, "I have never seen a team of such mediocre talent play with such courage, vigor, zeal, and enthusiasm." And when the shadows settled down across the field of that dark day in November, the score was Army at West Point 21, Notre Dame 28. Wow. If you were to walk into the locker room there at Notre Dame today, where the athletes dress, you would find on bronze plaque these words: "When the going gets tough and the brakes are beating our boys, go out there and win one for the Gipper!" Exclamation point. It is that spirit which takes players of rather mediocre ability and transforms them. It gives them courage and enthusiasm, without which no battle of any importance can be won. You gotta have enthusiasm. No battle of any importance can be won without enthusiasm. That leads to the next things I'm grateful for, which is the law of habit. This law says that habit is a cable. We weave a thread of it every day, and at last we cannot break it. It's a lot like a flaxen cord that slowly adds a string by string until we are bound and have lost our freedom. Samuel Johnson said, "The chains of habit are generally too small to be felt until they are too strong to be broken." Wow. If we choose to apply this law to our own behaviors, but in a positive way, this law of habit will play a major role in you and I living the dream. Next, I'm grateful for the person named Dale Carnegie. He said, "You can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you." Wow, that's a good one. Isn't that a fantastic quote? We all want to have friends and enjoy friends, right? Well, there you go. That is a law of making friends right there. Let me repeat it again. You can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you. Once again, I had a wonderful day on my journey to business alignment. I sincerely hope you did too, and you had a great day today of living the dream. I'll be right back here tomorrow night at my laptop sharing another day in the life of Coach B. But until then, I wish you continued success. Good night. Okay. Okay, there we go. End.